So welcome, Katherine, to our feedback meeting today. Thank you for joining me today.
Thank you so much for having me, Karina.
And I've really been enjoying our last 28 days together, where you've joined me in my Circles of Change Academy, and in particular in our bootcamp, 28 days of reclaiming your power. I am so curious about how the experience has been for you. And first of all, how did you find it? How did you find us?
Well, originally, I think that the invitation in me was looking for something out there that could assist me in helping to move the energy in my life. I think I've been stuck in a rut for quite a long time, and I definitely have needed sort of a change to happen in order for me to realize some things in my life that have been holding me back, and to finally get to a place where I could actually decide to start to work in my favor as opposed to against myself.
Oh, beautiful. And do you feel that you got what you came for?
Definitely. I came in very overweight, very depressed, not really having any will to fight for myself in any kind of shape or form, with no routine, and not really putting my own care at the front of my mind. And I think now I'm in day 3 of doing a 100-kilometer challenge to myself. I'm looking after myself. I'm sleeping properly. I'm caring for my basic needs. I'm eating properly, and I'm actually reaching out and spending more time with others, and also not feeling bad if I don't, and investing time in myself, which I think is something that I've needed to do for a very long time, but I've always managed to put others first before myself.
That's fantastic. Wow. I mean, that's like huge. In
Definitely. It's been a roller coaster in some ways, but in other ways it's kind of, I feel like I'm at the peak of my realization, and just feeling like it's going to be a lot easier going forward now to make positive changes for myself.
Yeah. Was there anything that surprised you in the course?
Definitely. I would tend to say that the fact that there's a process that you can follow, and that it's not vague hours of sitting kind of trying to dwell into your innermost being. I think it's very much a process, and a step-by-step process that kind of opens each door to the next door to the next door to help you unlock the answers that you've been looking for all the way through.
Very nice.
And I think that surprised me in the fact that it was actually easy to follow, easy to accomplish, and to find out more, and could sort of break through all the different layers that I have inside of myself without it being a painful process at all.
Yeah, beautiful.
Wonderful in-depth process.
Sure. Amazing. And would you highlight one or two things that was particularly powerful for you?
Yes, absolutely. I think realizing that there are many different aspects that came and sat at my table, many different parts of my personality, many different aspects of my past experiences that were kind of ruling myself going forwards, and many that weren't serving me, and many that weren't assisting me to be the best person that I could be. And I feel that I'm now in a position, a realization has happened for me, that I can actually leave those past hurts and issues and worries behind, and actually look at each day with bright, open-minded heartfulness, if you would, and start to enjoy and look forward to what's coming, as opposed to being fearful of what has been.
Absolutely. And Katherine, I mean, you run a business, okay? And many who sign up for like 28 days of bootcamp, that might be a lot. How did you make that work?
Well, to start off with, I happened to start the course while handling 2 massive projects. And I must say it worked easily for me, because I could take that extra time, just wake up a little bit earlier in the morning to spend that time with myself. And I realized that it centered me a lot more for the work I needed to do during the day.
Yeah.
And me to prioritize what was important, because I did have that to restack everything in my life, including my greatest priorities, being myself. And I think that it's given me an opportunity to realize that I don't have to be on a job 24/7. I can actually take the time to not be there all the time, and to, you know, realize that I have put structures in place that can support me in terms of my staff and the contractors that I work with and how they support them. And it's really given me a lot more freedom in terms of my work. And I've been blessed enough to finally just call a halt and say, actually, I need some time for myself. And during the process, I had some time off in order to just reinvest in myself, which I would never have seen myself doing at all in the last 8 years of my life. So it's really been a wonderful investment in myself, and I'm seeing the rewards of it now.
No, it's fantastic. I mean, it's really getting into the driver's seat of your life, and you're such a beautiful example of that. And I'm so, I'm just, my heart is singing, you know, when I look at you and I hear your journey and how you are really stepping into a new year now, 2021, with some tools really to unpack the year, and that you are a priority.
Yeah.
That's
I think I managed to get a lot from group interaction. I managed to see a lot of my challenges from a totally different perspective, and it seems so simple now that I look at it, having had somebody else give their feedback on my own situation. But the answer was just critical for me to realize that in my life I hadn't been abandoned, that in actual fact I've just been scared most of the way through.
Yes.
And the ability for other people to see that in you when you have glossed over it or have chalked it up as being XYZ for so many years. And then all of a sudden it's like they just switch the light on and things just kind of fall into place. So
Absolutely.
It's really been key for me. In particular, the master classes have just been amazing for me.
Yeah, wonderful. And that's where the group work, of course, happens. And I can hear from you that those different perspectives have been really, really powerful, because some people might go into a process that is more depth, hey, because this is depth work, and say, whoa, how am I going to share in a group environment? Did you feel it was a safe space? How was the facilitation for you? Was it held so that you felt you could trust the space?
Generally a very open person. So for me, I don't mind talking about things that me on an in-depth level. And I think I find other people struggle to be as open as I am. But I think that once one of us started to share and open up a little bit more, I think it gave everybody else permission to do the same. And I've actually got such a strong kinship with the people who we've had in our group. And I really feel like, you know, I'm a torchbearer in their story, if you would, and had the opportunity to honor them or for them to honor me by letting me piece of their story.
Absolutely. You know, it's such a testimony to also, Katherine, that actually that we're not on this journey on our own, you know, because I mean, it's been a tough year, right? I mean, it's been a tough year for everybody in the world. I mean, there's really something that touches all of us. But to actually realize that I am not on this journey on my own. There are other people, and once I open myself to others and I share a bit of my story, I can also be gifted from these people.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. And I noticed a lot of the behaviors that that I have in myself in others.
Yes.
I was very aware of other people bringing up topics that registered so closely to my core, and I realized that I do cut people, that I do struggle with confrontation, and that those are all aspects I can work on and I can get better with. And knowing that it you know, I'm not alone in facing those challenges, that there are other people who face the same challenges.
Absolutely. And depth work, is that new to you?
It is actually. I've got lots of books that you'll find all over my house where I've written letters to myself and kind of delved in, but nothing that really made me ask the right questions.
Okay.
I think I was more observing what I was going through emotionally, as opposed to actually delving into why I was feeling the way that I was feeling, and what was pushing me towards things and what was pulling me away from things.
Yeah.
And I think that those aspects have have really opened my eyes to what's actually going on under the surface. I think that we're very much reactive people, 99% of the time, and that finally we can actually see the pattern and to not perpetuate it, which I think is something that's really necessary, but that something you're not necessarily able to achieve on your own.
Very good.
For me, it's greatly beneficial that way.
Very nice. And also to have the courage, because it does take courage to care for ourselves and take that step. So well done for having taken that step. And like in the new year, so in February, I'll be running, because this course has been so successful, all of you are just, you know, like the things you've allowed to shift in your journey is absolutely amazing. So I'm going to do another one in February. What would be your message to those people? Why would you think that others should benefit from this course? Do you recommend the work to others?
I would definitely recommend the course. I think it's been so beneficial to me. And I think that anybody who feels that they're on the cusp of something and feeling the desire to make some kind of change or to address an aspect of their life where they've been neglectful of themselves, I think it's definitely an opportunity for them to say, hey, let's make this time about me. Let me delve into the topics that may be a little bit hard for me to address. In a loving, well-structured and sharing kind of a platform which allows others to impact on you as deeply as you will impact on them. And I would definitely recommend it to anybody who feels like they desperately need to address issues in their life that have kind of been leading them to live in a sort of a emotional desert. And I think that that's where I was before this, and I'm definitely opening up into the garden of awakening, as you like to say. And looking forward to each day as opposed to just living through the humdrum of every day.
Yeah, wonderful. And I want to thank you for your commitment in the course and for your incredible contribution, and so beautiful to witness your journey. And I cannot wait to keep witnessing it as we go into the new year.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Katherine. Really appreciate
Thanks,
it.
Karina.
Thanks.